We've seen the devastating photos and video and heard the unimaginable tragic stories of the historic Humphreys County catastrophe since this past weekend. The devastating flood has weighed on the hearts and minds of many, including Mount Juliet head football coach Trey Perry.
A natural disaster is a natural disaster, and we dealt with that a year ago, and we're still dealing with it. Right. And we know what the fallout from that was. And that, honestly, that's what hit first is we know how this feels. You know, we've been through this. We have experience with it. And we know what they would need quicker. You know, what is an immediate concern versus what is a long-term concern.
It started with a social media post from the Waverly Tigers high school football program, and it says it all. They lost practically everything. Their field and field house totally underwater. From there, the wheels started turning for Coach Perry.
We were fortunate to be in our workout film routine on Sunday afternoon anyway. So that's when sort of a lot of that broke after they could finally get some pictures out and stuff. If it gives you an idea of how bad things were, we couldn't even initially get in touch with them because their servers were down on their internet through email. So we were having to do it through social media, and finally obviously made that connection.
Coaching is a unique brother and sisterhood, and when tragedy or devastation strikes, they are very quick to help each other. That's why Coach Perry and his staff took inventory of their football equipment and apparel. Anything they felt that Waverly could wear or use, they put it on a van today and sent it west across I-40. The donation was met with open arms.
Coaches understand what coaches go through. We talk about it all the time. You know, this is not a job, it's a calling. And so we get that what we do on a daily basis anyway kind of takes us away from our family and those kind of things. And so when something like this happens, there's never been a hesitation.
You sent them several items.
Right, and so we've got a really great manager crew that they know the inventory better than I do, to be real honest with you. So they took me around and said, Coach, we can do without this or that, and this is pretty new. And like you just touched on, we didn't want to send them junk. We wanted something that they could use immediately. We've got some surplus cleats and Under Armour that we were able to piece together. We had exercises that were brand new, you know, in the box, and so excited to give them that. Douglas shoulder pads. We've got warm-up shirts. Those are things you probably don't think about sometimes, but they'll be gone too.
For Coach Perry, he, like so many others, remember what it was like when a natural disaster hit our district last year. When that happened, the Humphreys County School System's district leadership was one of the first ones to reach out to us in the aftermath. Coach Perry hopes that the items sent to Waverly, courtesy of Mount Juliet football, helps to give their student athletes something to smile about after all that's happened.
Sometimes when you look at these situations that are indeed tragic and well beyond the scope of a football game, but it gets to take those families' minds off of things for 2 hours on a Friday night. And then they get the opportunity to have a little bit of joy and cheer for the same thing. And if we can get Waverly back on the field quicker, then that's what we're here to do.
Well, we say thank you again to head coach Trey Perry and the Mount Juliet football program for their generous donation to Waverly's football program, heavily affected by the catastrophic flooding over last weekend. Now, you may be asking, how do I help our mid-state neighbors in need following the flood? Well, there's many ways to do that, as many of you have already seen, but perhaps one of the best ways is to go to United Way of Humphreys County, Tennessee. They have a Facebook page. It's been very active since the flood. It gives you a good idea of things that they're needing, things maybe they don't need right now, ways that you could possibly help. So you might want to check that out. I'll show it to you one more time. This United Way of Humphreys County, Tennessee, good resource there. All right, folks, have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll talk to you again soon. I'm Bart Barker for Wilson County Schools.